Back to our channel. Now we're going to start the arteries of gluteal region. So first we'll start with superior gluteal artery. If you remember the superior gluteal now, along with it there is also superior gluteal artery here, this red one, right? So the superior gluteal artery is also a branch of posterior division of internal iliac artery. So about internal iliac artery, about that we'll see in abdomen, right? So now we are in lower limb part. So remember, just the posterior division of internal iliac artery is our superior gluteal artery. So the surface marking, as you can see, it is just like near to the gluteus medius, just below the gluteus medius minus gluteus medius muscle, right, and above the piriformis muscle. So actually it is a course. Let us see the course and distribution. It enters the gluteal region to greater sciatic foramen, passing above piriformis, same like the superior gluteal nerve. It also passes above the piriformis by means of greater sciatic foramen, right? Along with the superior gluteal nerve, it also travels same. So in the foramen, it divides in turn into superficial and deep branches. So superficial and deep branches. Okay, the superficial branch mainly supplies the gluteus maximus muscle. So you can see some superficial branch supplying the gluteus maximus muscle. The deep branch subdivide in turn into superior and inferior branch, which run along the anterior and inferior gluteal lines respectively between the gluteus medius and minimus. You can see this is the gluteus medius minimus, so between them it will run. Okay, and the superior branch ends by the anterior superior iliac spine by anastomosing with ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery. So remember that it will anastomose with lateral circumflex femoral artery at the anterior superior iliac spine. Okay, and the inferior branch joins the trochanteric anastomosis. Of course, we will discuss in this video about trochanter anastomosis. Then you will get very clear idea about this superior gluteal artery. So just remember it course along with the superior gluteal nerve. That's it. And remember that it will supply the gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and also gluteus maximus. Okay, and remember that it has two branches, superior and inferior branches. Okay, and remember that the inferior branch is taking part in trochanteric anastomosis, and the superior branch is anastomosing at the anterior superior iliac spine with the circumflex femoral artery. That's it. Now we'll discuss about the inferior gluteal artery. Same like the nerve. Okay, so this one is, it's a branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery. So just now we discussed that superior gluteal artery is branch of posterior division of internal iliac artery. So this is an anterior division of internal iliac artery, that is our inferior gluteal artery. Okay, so this inferior gluteal artery is course and distribution. We'll see it enters the gluteal region by passing through greater sciatic foramen below piriformis along with inferior gluteal nerve. It supplies the muscular branches mainly to the gluteus maximus. Clearly you can see it is supplying to the gluteus maximus and to all muscles which are deep to it below piriformis. So what are the muscles which are present deep to piriformis? All of those are supplied by the inferior gluteal artery, and it has cutaneous branches to the buttock and back of thigh. Okay, it is serving a articular branch to the hip joint, and it is participating in a cruciate anastomose branch. Okay, and an artery to sciatic nerve. It also gives some artery to the sciatic nerve, and it represents the axis artery in the region and may at times be quite large, and it also give the coccygeal branch and supply area of coccyx. So remember, it is supplying buttocks area, coccyx area, supplying hip joint. It is mainly supplying the gluteus maximus muscle. Okay, it is also supplying the back of thigh. Okay, and it is supplying the sciatic nerve. Means like all the structures which are near to it, all are supplied by it. And one more thing important is, just interior to the piriformis muscles, all those are also supplied by this, and it is also called axis artery. Okay, remember that it also supplies the coccyx. It is important. Next, coming to internal pudendal artery. So you can see here, this is the internal pudendal artery, and this is a branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery, same like the inferior iliac artery, inferior gluteal artery. So same like that, it is also a branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery. It enters the gluteal region, of course, by greater sciatic foramen. It's very short course in gluteal region. It crosses the ischial spine medial to the nerve. You can see this is ischial spine, so it crosses it medial to the nerve. This one, it crosses medial to the internal pudendal nerve. Okay, so medial to the nerve, and actually it is traveling medial to nerve of obturator internus. So if you see, this is a nerve of obturator internus. Just medial to it, you will find this internal pudendal artery, and lateral to pudendal, it's lateral to pudendal now. It leaves the gluteal region by passing into the lesser sciatic foramen, through which it reaches ischiorectal fossa. Yeah, it's like absolutely same like the pudendal nerve. Even pudendal nerve passes both by greater sciatic foramen and lesser sciatic foramen, and finally reach the ischiorectal fossa. Even the artery also reaches the ischiorectal fossa. Here you can see. Okay, so this is about internal pudendal artery. Now we'll discuss about the trochanteric anastomosis and cruciate anastomosis by another diagram. So this diagram is perfect for that. You can see both anastomosis, trochanteric and cruciate. So let us understand each of them. First we'll understand trochanteric anastomosis. It is mainly situated near the trochanteric fossa, and it supplies the, if you remember the trochanteric fossa, it is present in our femur head, right? So it mainly supplies the branches of head of femur. It is formed by inferior division of deep branch of superior gluteal artery. I already discussed about that the inferior branch of superior gluteal artery take place in trochanteric anastomosis. So that one is here, and another one is ascending branch of median circumflex artery. Okay, there is also ascending branch of medial circumflex artery. Okay, one is coming from that, and the other one is ascending branch of lateral circumflex artery. You can see here that is mentioned lateral circumflex artery, medial circumflex artery, right? So from there the ascending branches are coming from medial and lateral circumflex femoral artery, and one is coming from superior gluteal artery, and the other one is often the inferior gluteal artery. So this anastomos channel of communication between the internal iliac and femoral arteries. So what is the internal iliac artery? That is the superior gluteal artery and inferior gluteal artery. If you remember, they are coming from the posterior division of internal iliac artery, right? If you remember, the superior gluteal artery is coming from posterior division of internal iliac artery, and the inferior gluteal artery also take part here, means that inferior gluteal artery is actually coming from the, you can see here, the inferior gluteal artery is coming from anterior division of inguinal artery, that is internal iliac artery, right? So anastomos, always remember, it is between two arteries. One is here internal iliac artery, and one is the femoral artery. So between them there is anastomosis, that is called as trochanteric anastomosis. So once again, let us realize what are present here. Just easy to remember: superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal artery, which are coming from, in turn, coming from the posterior and anterior divisions of internal iliac artery, and next you have the lateral and medial femoral circumflex arteries. That's it, simple. So now we will understand the cruciate anastomosis. Cruciate anastomosis is situated over upper part of back of femur at the level of middle of lesser trochanter. So remember, you see this trochanteric anastomosis at trochanteric fossa. Cruciate anastomosis you see at the middle of lesser trochanter. It is formed by anastomotic branch of, again, inferior gluteal artery. You can see here the inferior gluteal artery is also taking part here. So from inferior gluteal artery, from above by inferior gluteal artery, and by ascending branch of first perforating artery. So you can see these are the four perforating arteries. So from first perforating artery also one branch will come here. Okay, and also the medially by transverse branch of medial circumflex femoral artery. So medial circumflex femoral artery also comes here, and laterally by transverse branch of lateral circumflex artery. So lateral circumflex artery, lateral branch also. So like all three are here forming anastomosis. Okay, so this is a connection between internal iliac and femoral arteries. Why? Because here the inferior gluteal artery is again internal iliac artery branch, and these are the lateral circumflex femoral artery and medial circumflex femoral artery. These are of femoral artery. So this is anastomosis. Okay, so once again, let us recall what are all present in trochanteric anastomosis and cruciate anastomosis. In trochanteric anastomosis, there are both superior and inferior gluteal arteries, and both lateral and medial cutaneous, lateral and medial circumflex femoral arteries. Whereas in cruciate ligament, there is only inferior gluteal artery, and there are our lateral circumflex femoral artery, medial circumflex femoral artery, and one perforating artery. So these are forming cruciate anastomosis. Remember trochanteric anastomosis in trochanteric fossa, cruciate anastomosis in the middle of the femur, especially it is formed in the middle of the lesser trochanter. Okay, so by this we completed anastomosis. So next final part is left, that is about our structures passing through greater and lesser sciatic foramen. So finally we discuss this. So if you remember the piriformis, it is emerging from pelvis. It is emerging from pelvis, fills the foramen almost completely, and it is the key muscle of the region. So what is the key muscle of the greater sciatic foramen? That is mainly our piriformis, because it is completely covering our greater sciatic foramen. So what are the structures forming above the piriformis? That is very important. That is the superior gluteal nerve, okay, superior gluteal vessels, okay, these are passing above piriformis. So many structures are forming below the piriformis, that is inferior gluteal nerve, inferior gluteal vessels, sciatic nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, nerve to quadratus femoris, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessel, nerve to obturator internus. If you see our video on if you see before, all this I discussed, so those all are below the piriformis. Next, the last three structures after a short course in gluteal region enter the lesser sciatic foramen, where pudendal nerve and internal pudendal vessels run in pudendal canal. That is, I already discussed that pudendal nerve and vessels, they pass also by lesser sciatic foramen. So this is about greater sciatic foramen. Next let us discuss what are the structures passing by lesser sciatic foramen. So actually in the lesser sciatic foramen there is tendon of obturator internus, pudendal nerve, pudendal vessels, and nerve to obturator internus. This is very important. So nerve to obturator internus, tendon of obturator internus, pudendal nerve, pudendal vessels, and upper and lower part of foramen are filled by origins of two gemelli, that is superior and inferior gemellus. Okay, so this is all about the greater sciatic notch and lesser sciatic notch. Here in this text you can clearly see what are the structures passing through lesser sciatic foramen: obturator internus tendon, nerve to obturator internus, and pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessels, two gemelli. Okay, so by this we completed this lesson, that is the gluteal region. Next we will start with our popliteal fossa.